Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Taku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Gravity Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy.
Hello, everybody.
Did we get to the video intro?
Yes, we did the video intro.
Okay.
I just didn't tell you this
I still need to update it because we have a new $25 patron.
Ooh. Well, let's give him a shout out right now.
Hi, new $25 patron whose name I cannot remember.
That made it worse.
Thank you,
No,
new unnamed patron.
It's not that I don't love you, it's that I have ADHD and can't remember anything.
So do I.
I can't remember my own wife's birthday.
Well,
I remember her birthday, but I forget her name occasionally.
His wife or your wife?
Both.
I was about to say, is that
I mean, he does forget my name.
that a
all the
first
time.
question?
That's a lie. I do remember my wife's birthday because it's 1, 2, 3. It's the 12th of March.
Wait.
1, 2, 3, 12th of March.
Okay.
that's my
As,
wife's
as,
birthday.
as long as you're reading it,
That's my wife's birthday.
I have a great memory for numbers.
He
I can
remembers your
remember,
wife's
Parks,
birthday.
by the way,
Parks, thank you. That's it.
I can remember numbers for days.
because they're on our Discord.
Words,
They joined us.
names, things, what I'm doing.
What's my name?
What are you doing right now?
Right now, we're introducing Untethered.
You
All of
didn't
Cthulhu.
answer the question.
Doesn't
What's my
matter. We gotta
name?
get back to what we're doing.
Hey, speaking of that, let's introduce ourselves.
Hint, what's her name?
This is a squirrel token.
I was hoping you would look at it and go, squirrel.
Austin, spooky.
But yes, in order to get past my dreadful inability to remember names, let's introduce ourselves. I am Austin. I am your keeper, dungeon master, person who says what's happening sometimes when I remember. On my left.
I'm John. I'm playing Galadir Alunai, the astrophysicist who does magic.
On his left.
What's my name?
Your name is Holly. / Pookie the Death Bunny.
Legally now. No. My name is Holly. I am playing Sandra. One day. Rosen. She's an arborist.
You spent so much time asking him to tell you what your name is that you forgot what your name was.
I don't know! I didn't make this name! I keep forgetting the last name!
As crunch wrappers go.
Sorry.
On her left.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm not throwing things at people and
I
sending
didn't
crunch bar
throw
wrappers flying
anything!
anywhere.
I just made wind.
I am playing the security.
Morty, didn't throw anything. I just made wind.
This is the most lighthearted Call of Cthulhu campaign on Twitch. I guarantee it. And the bunny shirt.
I'm a little confused because you're going in an order right now. I'm concerned. Hey,
Trying to mix things up.
That's one way of doing it for you. I'm Rudy. I'll be playing Kyle, the author of the ship. Not.
You wrote this ship.
I wrote the ship.
He's actually an eldritch horror. Whatever he writes comes into being. So he wrote this
No. He's the author of ships. He writes fan fiction.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want you, writing the mission report for this.
Well, I'm not going to write the mission report.
He was never writing the mission report. I write the mission report.
Now,
Oh, that's right. He's just flavoring up the
concerned-
mission reports.
I am going
He's
to
just
be
writing a
wondering
novel.
what I'm gonna need to leave out, or if I should just leave everything in because no one's gonna believe it.
Technically speaking, Galadir is the ranking officer, followed because he is a lieutenant. Then you, as a junior lieutenant, Sandra is an ensign, and both of them are
Richards.
petty officers, which is an actual rank.
Yes, it is.
And an apt description.
And then Rudy's characters.
And then Rudy's a civilian.
A civilian, yes.
So,
Just, you know.
if anything happens to Galadir, then Yi is in charge. And if anything happens to both of them, then Sandra's in charge. And if anything happens to all three of them,
We're in
then
trouble.
the two of them duke it out for who's in charge.
With guns?
And if everyone dies but you are in charge.
I think the mission's over by then.
We've been in charge
The
of
mission,
nothing.
the mission was over
By
3
these
people
two,
earlier.
yes.
If everyone's dead but you may as well just join with whatever cult is trying to come at you and see how long you can live that way.
And write fan fiction about plant people.
I mean, I don't.
Alright, how can I ship Krator and Yylor?
Shape the plant with the planet.
I mean, it's already happened.
Yeah.
So
We
we're
were
trying
still
to unravel.
introducing people.
Yes! Speaking of our junior lieutenant,
I don't even know what I am anymore. Hi, I'm Zach. I'm playing Yitarasu, ship's counselor. Yeah.
cool.
Oh, found it.
And on my right.
That would
It
be
somehow
me.
bounced
I'm
underneath
Stan.
me.
I'm playing
The light
Duncan,
switch
one of the
keeps-
security.
No, it was, I was sitting on it apparently.
Awesome. With that out of the way, a quick recap of where we are.
Yeah, where are we?
You are inside the planet / elder being known as Krator. In order to find somebody who can actually fly this ship. Because they were both kidnapped,
Yes.
insofar as you can tell. And
I mean, I could always go get somebody else. But
Well, one of them was kidnapped, the other
you happen to know how
followed,
to fly
and
this
abducted.
thing?
that would be weird, though, if I just, like, sort of showed back up on our
Giving me
primary
bullshit
ship and was like, hey, can we get a pilot, please? It's like, how are you here? Long story.
the laws of physics not being as applicable as they could be.
Cats.
It's a different set of laws.
I get them confused with my kids.
Sure.
The laws of magic.
There's no laws of magic.
It's all right. Our parents got us confused with the dogs regularly.
We went through some tunnels into the heart. We encountered a horde of adorable bunnies. And
Adorable.
Yeah, I can't think of bunnies the same way again. Thank you, Austin.
you're welcome. That's the goal. And for some reason, our resident mage decided he didn't like the bunnies and inscribed an elder sign on the hood of the car, which would be great if the car hadn't been smashed to bits trying to ford a bloodstream. And everybody in the group dove headfirst into this bloodstream after it smashed the car.
It's all right. I have an elder sign shield now.
And have landed more or less intact in the room.
Right, we're in the lab.
Yeah.
You're in a lab. In fact,
Neither one of them were here.
neither one of them were here.
Yeah,
Mm.
we weren't there.
I rolled a jumping check on your behalf, and you rolled a 1 out of 100 and did an awesome action roll, preventing any damage to yourself or Yi, who you were carrying.
Yeah.
Nobody else got through quite so well.
To give you,
Just fine,
I didn't
thank you
do
very much.
anything. I just made a suggestion of what would happen if we just drove the car straight through, and they took me up
So,
on it. So we found out.
To give you a more accurate update, we continued on into the heart. We found access to. We actually found inert rivers of the green substance,
Yeah.
which we determined to be liquid versions of the green gas. It has the
Yeah,
same
because I was
properties
there
but in
talking
liquid
about
form.
seeing some of that on the surface.
And it was the same properties but in liquid form. I have 6 vials of it now currently in a gyroscopically stabilized containment unit,
Full of the yellow gas.
which is also full of the yellow gas, keeping it inert. We had determined that if you throw this vial of glass, it will continue on forward forever. after it shatters.
Because the green gas
Oh, boy.
/ liquid magnifies
Inertia. So basically, we have 6 vials of kill a thing. We
And everything behind that thing.
and everything behind that thing for quite a distance.
Presuming there is none of this bronze gas.
We eventually I killed a bunny with magic, and then explained explained to everyone that I have magic and magic is real.
Oh, you know, like...
At this point, people were willing to believe him.
Oh, and Sandra did stuff with her ring.
Sandra made plants grow through a wall.
I mean, the three of us didn't take that much convincing.
And we found a sideways river of this same green liquid that had bits of orange in it. So we assumed that it was fairly stable. We were trying to figure out how to get through it, and the suggestion was made to just try driving through it.
It was just a suggestion.
At which point we realized that the flow was much stronger than we thought it was.
It wasn't even debated. They just did it. It was just a suggestion.
Suggestions are dangerous.
Well, I had previously thrown my helmet into the river to see where it went, and it ended up in a lab. We found a lab. We previously found a lab that had a bunch of people in it, or it had evidence of people in it. Was it?
It had one of the cratori with a red tinge in it, as well as a variety of giant test tubes of
and
humanoids
that we had
floating
seen
in it.
through our helmets through Card's helmet.
Because you finally got in range of transmission to get the video feed from both Card and Win.
Win's helmet was on a table in the middle of a field in which these bunnies were frolicking with no sign
he's
of
dead.
Win, so we assume Win's dead.
Except there was a banquet table covered in fresh vegetables.
Yeah, there was a banquet table covered in fresh vegetables. We assume Win's dead.
Turned into vegetables.
The helmet was
Got
not
it.
on him.
He's probably one of the stitches.
Or the vegetables.
Card's helmet was on him, so we know Card's alive. And that's who we're looking for now. And we crash
There was
landed.
no audio pickup from Card's helmet.
Yeah, we crash landed through the river into a lab. Several of us are injured. I am
some of us got
particularly injured.
Super. How injured are you?
Yeah,
I'm at 6 out of 10, but I have a major wound.
somebody critically
I'm at 6
botched
out of 10, but I don't believe I have.
and
a major wound.
broke his...
Yeah.
Shattered your leg?
Ankle, I think. it was.
Shattered your ankle.
I shattered my ankle, which counts.
What part did I injure?
You just injured your, I believe it was like arm or something, but
Okay.
it's fixed up. It's not hindering you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So currently,
Have
you've got a
bones been
major
set?
wound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Gara's done.
Gora.
Gora.
We were talking about my Star Wars.
Yeah, we were talking about Gara earlier. Gora did first aid.
Cool.
So, but we haven't had any medicine checks done.
Cool.
If you want to, and now to clarify, a medicine check can further heal the injury, but it will take a
Time.
significant amount more time than just a standard first aid check.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm currently up and about, hopping around on my broken ankle, looking at the lab.
You've got a splint, so you can move just half speed. You can't sprint.
Sandra will also offer a shoulder if you need to lean
Yeah.
and hobble.
Leading and such. But I'm inspecting the lab.
Okay. And just for the two of you, the lab itself, you have found evidence of a couple other rooms that have already been destroyed that are made entirely out of this osmium, and it's definitely worked.
Mm-hmm.
They're very smooth. There's a variety of what look to be display panels along one wall, and then these test tubes. And in this room, they've all contained fragments of plant. One of them has been broken open. That was the one that our resident astrophysicist slammed into and then landed on, lacerating everything in his leg and destroying his spacesuit.
Cool.
Fortunately, he can breathe.
Thankfully, he can. In the laboratory, the oxygen levels are fine for breathing.
Yeah, I
Cool.
did make that clear at some point.
And your suit picked it up because your suit you've got the full suit, so it's
Yeah.
constantly monitoring atmospheric levels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there are one smashed and then 5 other of these large enough for a human to fit in tubes, full of what appears to be murky, foggy liquid, and then floating in it various plant fragments. A couple of them are stems, but one of them appears to be a large crown.
What's the crown like?
The crown is it's like a root structure, so it's a very bulbous root structure
Not
with
a, not a
tendrils coming
crown,
out of
but a
it.
plant crown.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever dug up a crown when you were like trying to get out weeds and stuff?
Maybe, but I don't know what it is.
It's like a potato,
Oh, okay, so it's just
Yeah,
a
it's
bulb.
but just
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
sprouted.
So a big taproot.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to figure out what this lab's purpose was.
So you check out the terminals, and as far as roll me.
I have chemistry, engineering, physics.
I'm trying to figure out how you can roll me
occult.
Yeah, give me a cult. I'll let you use a cult for this.
I'm guessing computer use wouldn't be relevant.
41 of 54.
All right. Oh, actually, you speak Latin, don't you?
Yeah, I speak Latin.
Haha. Thankfully, it conveniently, for some reason, elder gods seem to speak in Latin.
Yeah.
No one really knows why, but yeah, all the readouts are in Latin.
Okay.
And the characters are. So this device is not powered by electricity, so far as you can tell. The red that's coming across the display is definitely blood, and interfacing with it would seem to require more blood.
Like stab myself on a thing, or what? Like, is there a thing that presents itself?
Knowing what you do with the occult, presumably you would use some sort of athema, which is a ritual knife,
Yeah.
to prick yourself, and then write with your blood in Latin onto this touch screen.
Does there seem to be a built-in knife on this device?
No. Presumably this would be... I mean, presumably if you were supposed to be using this, you would have an athema. Also, athemas tend to be very personal devices.
Yeah.
Everyone would have their own. It's one of those sort of like...
Could I, with my occult knowledge, do I think that, like, is the athema required, or would I just need to cut myself and write on this thing?
It depends. Athemas are usually just something that have significance to the person. There's nothing innately magical about one. So it's quite possible that if you had something that it was a personal reference, you pricked yourself with it, it would function.
What's written on it right now?
Right now, it is displaying some information about growth rates, cellulose. It's talking about its absorption of certain materials, its ability to feed, and then also it's being held in some sort of stasis. And it appears that extremely salty water doesn't hurt it, but it definitely prevents it spreading.
Mm-hmm.
So you would presume that that cloudy water is just highly saline.
Pull out my pocket watch. Is there an edge on this thing at all? Anywhere?
There's not going to be there's not really going to be an edge on it. Not in a properly crafted pocket watch.
So this is just out loud. So we've got a computer here that is we've got a device here that's operated by blood and Latin.
Okay.
In that order. I'm not sure what use it is, and I'll just sort of I'll regurgitate the information that it provided, that it has on it right now. Somebody.
Roll me botany as he's regurgitating some of this
Okay.
information to you.
There's
That
somebody.
half, because you're not reading it, you're just getting what he's.
Okay.
So what's your botany?
90.
So
So
you need to
you need
hit
45
a
or-
45.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Trying to math.
made it.
Hey, 20.
Alright. So, from what he's reading, these plants seem to have a very strong dormancy ability. If they meet with something that absorbing would hurt them, something like salt is traditionally very bad for a plant, they activate a state of dormancy, and they don't bring in resources, but they don't expend any resources. And from what you can tell, they activate this mode actually very quickly. This plant seems very protective of itself. So with this knowledge, you're guessing that if you were to use your toxin, if you were to actually get your toxins into this thing, it wouldn't injure it so much as it would put it dormant, but it would work faster than you might expect.
So, if I put my toxins into this, it won't injure it, but it will become dormant quickly.
Okay. Well, that's something.
Hey Zachary, roll me a sanity check.
Mm-hmm. Uh, 55 to 67.
Cool. You've been off your meds for a while now, and you're beginning to see things out of the corners of your eye.
Hmm.
Yay.
Ghostly figments.
Figment?
Roll me a sanity check, Holly.
Oh dear. 3.
Alright. You're definitely hearing something and seeing something out of the corner of your eye, and
Me?
it's definitely there, yes.
Okay.
But it's always just in the corner of your eye. Whenever you turn to look, it's gone. And then you turn your head back and it's there again.
Can I make out what it is at all?
Looks like a little boy.
A familiar one?
Roll me spot hidden to see how good of a glance you get at this.
35 of 58.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does look like a familiar one.
I'm ignoring that. I am ignoring it. It's not there.
I'm gonna try to
Yeah, it's not there. I agree.
Yes! Yes, we have a club.
I would like both of you to... What's the insight skill?
psychology.
Psychology. I would like you to both roll psychology.
I'm gonna wipe off this control scheme,
Yeah, I don't have
this control plate,
10%.
so I'm not cross-contaminated.
40 of 70.
96 of 10.
Everything is perfect and fine and wonderful, and no one here seems to be bothered by anything. Life is happy.
Wonderful.
The bunnies are calming.
No, they're not.
Wonderful.
You notice that around the same time you started seeing things, Sandra started looking at things that aren't there and is trying to avoid it intentionally based on her behavior.
So that she's seeing things in the same places that I am by how she's looking at
She
things?
seems to be seeing one thing in particular. She kind of looks over in a direction and will turn back, and then is very intentionally not looking in that direction.
Did I ever notice anything in that direction?
There's definitely a defined shape, something like small humanoid.
I'm gonna press my my incisors up underneath my nail until I start to bleed,
Okay.
and then using that blood, I'm going to write in Latin a request for information and see if anything happens.
You start to write. It's going to take a lot more blood than just what you can get out of your fingernail.
Yes.
No, I have like pruning shears.
Yeah, but it has to be something relevant to me. I don't have anything sharp.
Wait, so when
are
he
you-
fell into that
Can't take
glass,
my
he was
pruning shears
severely
and stick your
lacerated
hand
and
over it?
stuff? You
Yeah,
said he
that's
fell
how
into
I'm
glass?
bandaged.
Yeah, it's bandaged up.
So I can't hand you my pruning shears and you can't just slice your hand open?
I mean, I can.
How
but
relevant is your study of these weird gases to you right now?
fairly?
I pull my knife out. That's been forged out of the golden gas.
That works too.
Cut my hand with the golden knife.
I mean, it definitely draws blood.
And I'll see if I can write with that and see if it does anything. I'm just writing like I'll cut my hand with a knife and use that blood to write out in Latin as best I can. Basically a request for information on the purpose of this station.
/ help.
Yeah.
Basically.
/ question mark.
Except in Latin.
Yeah.
/ Latin help.
Yes.
So it takes a second, and then on the screen it shows up that this is Lab Sigma, and it is being managed by Rage in order to best develop a defense against the plants of Ylor.
Okay. So, good news. This is Lab Sigma. It's being used to develop defenses against the plants of Ylor. So we know who Ylor is now. And it's managed by Rage.
Well, we ran into an individual named Guardian, so...
What does the word, like, if I were to say the word rage out loud, what would it be in Latin?
Oh, let's do
Who
some Latin.
translate to the rescue?
Yeah.
Oops, I need to go English to Latin.
Because Guardian is not a Latin word, is it?
No.
It's just...
I'm going to assume it's going to have something to do with bellicose, because that's the Latin,
Yeah.
that's a Latin phrase.
Like Bellis.
Ira.
Ira?
Like your
Ire, yeah.
Ira. Managed by Ira. Well, yes, but Guardian is not Latin.
No, Bella is fight. Yeah.
Ira is Latin. This is all Latin. So I'm not certain if Guardian is related to or completely different from. Also, the figure that we saw through what color is Guardian?
Blue.
Guardian's blue. Yeah.
And this one is
The figure that we saw was red.
I mean,
so.
that would be suited for rage.
Yeah. Asking the thing for the current, if it knows the current location of Rage.
Alright. Roll me luck.
Right behind you. 6 out of
Okay.
53.
Cool. You're able to keep writing without expending too much more blood. You don't have to take a point of damage at the moment. It indicates that it is in Lab Delta, monitoring the Stitched.
So Rage is currently in Lab Delta, monitoring the Stitched. Look around. Is there an obvious exit to this room?
Yes.
Okay. So, this is Sigma. I go through my Latin alphabet to figure out what the relationship between Sigma and Delta.
That's Greek, though.
Yeah,
Or
that's
my
true.
Greek, my Greek
Delta,
alphabet. I mean, Romans stole everything else from Greek.
Alpha, Beta, Delta, Gamma, Epsilon... I don't recall past that.
Yeah, Epsilon is where I stopped
Yeah.
too. And I know Omega's at the end.
Gamma?
Sigma is pretty late.
Yeah. It's pretty far down the road.
It's going to be the 18th.
So Sigma is the 18th line. Delta is the 3rd
The fourth.
or 4th. Alpha, Beta, Delta.
Yeah, Delta's
Yeah.
4.
Alpha, Beta, Delta, yeah.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma,
Gamma,
Delta.
Gamma, that's right.
You naming sororities now?
So if
Yes.
That's how sororities are named, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Alpha sorority has to be like pretty fun.
Has to be what?
Has to be pretty, like, wild. The most powerful sorority. The Alpha sorority.
Alpha, Sigma, Sigma.
No, just Alpha.
Alpha.
Just no other letter. Just Alpha.
Usually it's something like alpha, beta, or alpha, gamma. Or
Yeah, I know.
It's usually
That's why I'm
It's
saying.
usually a 3-letter combination.
Alpha.
That's why I'm saying just Alpha has to be fucking wild.
There you go. Alpha, Omega. Got everything.
Alright, so Sigma's 18 down, which means if they're going in order, that means there are 17 other labs at least.
Maybe.
If not,
Or they just
who
skip a few.
knows? I mean, yes, we can assume they skip. If they skipped a few, then this doesn't mean
It's like,
anything.
1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100.
Yeah.
There's only 3 labs. 4.
Is there only
Sure
one
that's
exit?
how they count.
Yes.
No, it's 5 because skip if you was a lab.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my god.
Kind of like how Elemento is a letter.
Elemento, yeah.
Elemento
Elemento?
is a letter.
Elemento. I wrap my hand up.
Okay.
So, the lab that Card was in was Lab Delta.
Which
So let's
lab
go down
is
the hall and
this?
find
This is
Delta.
Lab Sigma. And in Lab
Okay.
Delta, they are apparently growing stitched.
We might want to get to Card then.
Yeah, let's go.
The
Let's run down
computer
the hall.
referred to them as stitched, though. Which means that's an intentional thing.
Monitoring, but yeah.
Monitoring, yeah, monitoring the stitched.
It could be right next door. They just, arbitrary letters.
Are there any, like, markings above any of the doors that exit here anywhere?
Yeah. Is there any, like, navigation markings?
From the inside, no.
Let's go outside and find
Is it
out.
a door
Actually,
or a
step-
corridor?
It's a
Is
door.
it this door open?
Oh, it's actually a
Is
door.
Is it a closed door right now?
It's a sliding door, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go over and slide it. Or unslide it as
Put
it
your
goes.
hand on it and the head just falls
Roll
off
me-
immediately.
What's the brute force?
Do that to you.
Give me strength.
Yeah, just a strength check.
Make strength
Doesn't
check.
have to be real good.
Oh, one of those up there?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you have to do the comparative force, though. Like, just by size
Well,
comparison,
49
doing
out of 60.
that is sort of like
Okay.
a car falling on someone's head.
So,
by size comparison.
As you grab this door and begin sliding it, it makes a nice screeching noise as it begins to open.
You don't
Ah.
like noises?
Turning off speakers.
No, just that everything in the world will hear that.
Yeah, I know. That's why we have these things.
Doink. Yes, and then everything else in the world will hear us.
Including the world itself.
Well, if everything else dies.
I hand
Well, that's the
Gora,
one we're mainly
I hand
concerned
Gora
about.
back the knife.
Yeah, exactly. Come over here.
And
Okay.
it's a hallway.
Well, I guess we're going that way then.
So, anything up and down the hallway?
As you enter the hallway, it goes left as far as you can see, and it goes right as far as you can see.
If I step
there
out
other
and
doors?
turn around, is there any marking on the...
Is anyone
On the door
really,
frame?
is anyone here really good at throwing things?
There is a sign above the door.
Okay.
You are not familiar with what the
doesn't have
symbol
a-
means.
We all have a
It's not
20%
something I
chance to
can
hit while throwing things. 6%.
Is that Sigma? I say pointing at the sign above the door.
I look at the
From
sign.
the outside, yes, it's signed Sigma.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I
That
thought.
says Sigma.
Okay, let's go get murdered.
Are there other
I mean,
doors in this
rescue
hallway that
card.
are visible?
Nope.
No other doors. So we can go left or right?
And we know the doors are. We know the doors are.
Squeaky.
I mean, marked was the word I was going to
yeah,
use.
so, yeah. So we just went around looking for a triangle.
Look for Delta, yeah.
So which way do you go?
Oh, well, is there a direction? Oh,
There's
so
left or
there.
right,
left or right?
Left or right.
All right.
There's no other
so,
doors.
okay, this now gives me the other thing that I need to know as I head back towards the Delta lab,
All right.
or back towards the Sigma lab.
Okay.
Okay. Do we want to go to Delta?
That's presumably where Card's at, and he's our ticket off.
He's
Well,
gonna
I
if
thought
that-
he was in Sigma.
That was the last place we saw Card. Was in Delta.
You're in
Can I
Sigma.
We're
check?
in Sigma.
Can I
sorry.
check Card's helmet feed? Have I got any connection still?
Yeah, you've got connection. It looks like he's in pretty much the same spot, and you still see the the strange red thing.
He's still in Delta.
All right,
Let's
cool.
go-
Give me that knife again.
Let's go. Oh, okay.
Cut myself again.
Roll me like a half.
Half
Trying
of
to get a
50
map of the
half,
facility.
half of 53.
26.
59.
All right. You're losing more blood than you wanted to, especially with what you've already lost, so you're going to take a point of damage.
Cool. And I'm going to write
Strap
out.
Now you can write all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. I need a pencil. I'm gonna write out what's again. I'm gonna ask for directions to Delta, specifically.
All right. As you write that down, is everybody else still in the lab? Anyone else in the hallway?
Yeah, I'm gonna be by the door in case anything comes up and down.
The door closes,
Okay.
and
Sneak back in
you
real fast.
hear a screeching and a shifting and
Screeching
a
like the door?
grinding. No.
Something coming. Oh.
Like the room is moving,
Room, not like the room is moving.
but like everything's moving around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
okay.
door reopens.
Okay.
So the
And-
lab is an
Yeah, the
elevator.
lab's-
The lab is a wonkavator.
Yeah.
And as the door reopens, it leads directly into a lab, and there is a figure standing in
Is
it.
it red?
Is it Card?
No.
She said hope.
Found him.
Well, so here we go.
It's standing,
Pretty sure.
staring at a control panel, and it appears just to be staring at the control panel.
I'll kind of ward down the weapons a little bit that are starting to go up.
Yeah, no, don't
Is it
attack
red?
him.
We're not gonna shoot.
I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna try and check Card's helmet feed and see if I can get a perspective on an open door now.
That's all of us. Not any
The
aggressive
movement,
moves.
the feed has definitely changed, and it's looked around, and you see through the door to yourselves at the moment, and he's ducked back.
Provide the get over here hand sign.
You will also notice that there is absolutely no point of cover between where he. This has got another 6 in it. He's in the far one. He's behind the far one,
Yeah.
and the way that they're set up, there's no cover.
But it's currently facing down at a console right now. So
Yes.
I put the gyroscopically stabilized container on the floor.
Does it seem to have noticed us yet?
No, he's still looking at the.
Or is it
You're
just
not
staring?
sure. It's
Okay.
just staring.
And
Alright.
I'm gonna open it. And just gonna set it there so that it's standing, so that it has, so everyone in the room has free access to one of the 6 vials of green liquid, in case it's necessary.
What's the green liquid do?
Keeps going.
You just throw it at the.
You throw it at it, and it keeps going.
That's the plan. Anyway.
Yeah.
make sure you throw it very carefully.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you wind back,
Yeah. No.
So
you,
don't.
you, you,
don't
you,
just
you scale it very carefully. You go.
Yeah. Very. Don't do
Just-
it.
You want to
You want a Hadouken?
you want to shot put the.
Anyways, and then I'm going to go walk to the door. It doesn't seem to have reacted at all.
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
I'll walk up beside you as well.
Gora, have one of those ready just in case.
Yeah. Knife in my offhand, grab one of the vials, hold it very tightly, very carefully.
Ira,
It turns and looks at you. At this point, with its attention fully diverted, Card has moved over to the control panel
okay.
and appears to be doing something that you can't quite make out.
As best I can in Latin, because that's the language that everything else has been in. I'm going to ask what their function is.
It turns its head and looks at you.
Does it respond other than turning its head and looking at me?
No.
I mean, if Garjan didn't respond to anything.
Garjin kind of responded, just didn't say.
We also haven't tried to speak to Garjan in Latin, have we?
No, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I tried to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah,
I tried to
right.
speak in Garjin in every language I could think of, and the only one that worked was an occult one.
I mean, so far the only two responses we've ever seen from this kind of thing is a head turn and fighting. So, going well so far.
Yeah, so far we're on the more.
Yes.
We're on the more.
You're on the better
positive.
of the two options.
Two options. Okay, in Latin again. Who do you serve? Do I have a name other than Yylor?
The planet's name is Krator.
Alright. Do you serve Krator?
It makes a single head nod.
Okay. Out in English. Alright, I've established that it serves the planet, which I'm pretty certain that confirms my previous hypothesis that the planet is an organism.
Yes.
Do we even want to bring up the other name?
The other name seems to make Garjin really aggressive.
What about if he knows Garjin?
Ecleo Garjin?
Do you know that
Make
phrase?
a luck roll.
I know a little bit of Latin, just not.
That's not Latin.
Is it not?
That's
No, that's Gnomish.
It's Gnomish.
Oh, it is.
But hey, luck roll if you can randomly, you know.
Well, also make a luck roll for other rings.
Oh boy.
56, which is 3 higher than my 53. I'm going to spend my 3 points. Drop that.
Congratulations, you get to continue living. It raises its the flail chain in an aggressive stance.
Okay, doesn't like Garjin. Got it.
Say the name again.
I didn't say it in the phrase, though.
Don't say that phrase.
I wonder why that phrase was in my brain. I imagine that phrase was in Galadier's brain because Galadier is Galadier, and the random phrases
Yes.
are in his brain.
You've seen stuff you weren't supposed to. You know, it's in the madness.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't like that. In Latin. Do I know what that phrase means?
You have no idea why you said
I
that.
have no idea why I said that. Okay, cool. Great. Part of the madness. In Latin.
Interesting.
We are trying to stop Yylor.
Roll me your Latin to make sure you phrase that perfectly.
10 of 18.
You
All
succeed
right.
at Latin.
You succeed at Latin. Alright. Upon hearing the name Yylor, the thing swings its flail and annihilates one of the tubes with the stitch in it. The ball hits it and then carries, and there's nothing but viscera and paste on the opposite wall.
Cool. Alright.
Safe here anymore?
Doesn't like that name. Did that seem like a demonstrative action or as just a visceral reaction?
It seemed like a knee-jerk thing.
Okay, cool.
You said the name, it wanted to kill the name, so it killed the closest thing related to the name.
Got it. Alright. What is Card doing at this point?
Card has entered something in the thing and is now slipping around towards where you are.
Alright. Can I see what he entered?
No, it's on the opposite side of the room.
Alright, cool.
And you do hear... You're not wearing your helmet. Everybody's wearing a helmet here. Alright. We're leaving now, right? Presumably, if we get through that room, you can close the door from the other side.
That's Card,
We were
right?
able
Yes.
to open it.
We can certainly try.
I'm afraid to even ask. Is when...
I don't know.
Okay.
He ran off.
When? Where?
When? Where?
He's not in the room. We'll discuss it. All right.
Okay.
So you see us kind of back out.
Yeah,
Back
no,
toward the door.
I'm waiting for Card to get past me.
Right.
Card
Right.
slips by you.
Okay.
And the thing, seeing Card, raise its flail, and at that time, something goes off, and all of the capsules open, and the stitched fall out.
Right, backing up.
Duck back.
I'm gonna let him fight them.
I'm going to go ahead and duck back and sort of reach down and just generally, like, toss one of the capsules towards.
Make a throwing check.
Towards that.
Yes, towards just the general note.
Make a throwing check at double.
Or at half.
No, at double.
At double.
Double?
It's,
Oh, okay.
easy to throw
It's
these
an
things.
easy- it's
Oh, okay.
easy.
So you're looking at 40 then, rather than 20. Throws on the
Yeah,
natively 20.
that's a 73. So
Make a luck check.
Don't hit me. I'm in the doorway.
that's a 60 of 39. Do I want to burn a ton of luck here?
You can't burn enough luck for that.
Wouldn't I be able to burn 30 luck though?
I mean, if you wanted to burn 30 luck, yeah.
Well,
You would technically need to burn 21 luck, but
Is he even vaguely in the line of
I'm
fire?
in the doorway, yes.
Well, I'm presuming you waited till he scooched, and then
I mean, yes.
wait till clear. And throw.
Also because I'm probably slower than you, especially in the suit.
All right.
I'm limping.
But yes, I do not luck.
Cool. I need
So my life flashes before my eyes.
D8.
And I don't awaken.
Depends on how close it gets to your life flashing before your eyes. That's a direction.
Looks like we'll all be going to Wheel of Time
Oh boy, do
tonight.
I trip over? I trip over.
No.
don't I?
You go to underhand throw, forgetting the fact that it doesn't just arbitrarily start getting momentum after it leaves your hand. And you start by swinging downwards.
And it goes into the floor.
And it annihilates the floor.
Huh?
what kind of...
So, first things first,
I hope that doesn't break the door mechanism.
you take 2 points of damage from shrapnel of just ripped and shredded osmium flying up at you. But you have armor on. Because you're wearing that suit.
Yes.
And it absorbs that. Because it's literally
Sweet.
designed to be in space and absorb space debris. Make me a dexterity check.
Why?
Yeah.
Do I get a disadvantage on
because-
dexterity for the armor?
No.
No. Because you're now standing over a hole. And the direction you go is going to be very relevant.
23 of 40.
Awesome! You dive out of the way as the ground underneath you opens up in a shotgun pattern and just keeps going down. And you just hear tearing, ripping, rending, shattering, crunching. And there's a... So the entry point on the floor is about just over manhole sized.
Mm-hmm.
And it opens out from there, and there's just a cone of dark.
it's the shotgun cone of.
Yeah, it's just shotgun cone down through it.
I hope you didn't break the exit mechanism.
Well, the plan.
If they come after us, throw them in the hole. You're welcome.
Card is currently sprinting for the control panel on this side.
Okay.
Maybe let the uninjured girl who already has a vial in her hand do the throwing. Gora says that she's standing with the vial sort of like pressed onto her hand right now. Carter's keeping it aimed.
It
in the
has
general.
this thing has already just annihilated 3 of the stitched as Card
Fire!
reaches the control panel
And when it's sort of like in front of another one of the sticks, just flip it.
Make me a throwing check at double.
25 of 40.
Awesome. Learning this lesson, you just sort of like push, and it blasts out. It annihilates everything in the room, except for Ira, who raises up the chain of his flail, which is made of that bronze material, and stops the liquid dead.
Yeah.
In front of it.
I sort of was gathering that might happen.
The flail is coming soaring at the door, right as... Let's see how lucky Card is. Probably very, hopefully.
Card has 99 luck, typically.
Card has rolled 88 of his 90 luck. That is his highest stat. Yeah. And
some rescue.
he has jotted something on the control panel, and the door slams shut, and the grinding happens right before the flail goes blasting through it.
Good.
What happens with the hole in the floor as things grind and move?
The hole in the floor stays.
Even the shotgun pattern of it going, like even shining a light down
The
there,
rest of the
everything
building
stays the
moves
same?
around this room, you see.
You're not sure how the physics of this works, but there is still a hole down there just going.
Probably still
But it
going
goes all the way through the planet, presumably.
until it hit the pocket of the golden gas.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It could reach the other side of the planet
Oh,
and then
could
get
be.
stopped by the atmosphere.
So we just hurt the planet. Maybe.
I don't care.
Me too. Well,
But assume
I'm
this sort of,
thinking.
assuming this sort of thing hasn't
Alright.
happened before.
I'm
Right.
going
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
shut the containment unit. So that we don't have any more accidents. We're 2 down. We have 4 vials left. Right. Card.
Alright.
Well, we found you
Yes.
Do we know what we're here for, Card? Potentially.
to rescue Card.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Not-
I don't
Get Wynn?
know what happened, but Wynn decided to run off into the gas. So,
Because he's an idiot.
Why did you even hide it on board?
That too.
Wanna
That's
talk
a
about
very long
idiots.
story.
I figured you needed a spare pilot.
And you would be right.
Your father's going to kill
I
you.
think a psychology roll.
Yes.
And us, probably.
That's
29.
the least of our worries.
29 of 10.
Yes, if we get out of this.
I figured you needed a spare pilot just in case something happened and I could fly the ship. And, as it so happens, you needed a spare pilot, so what's wrong?
Let's not worry
Several
about, let's not worry about
things.
that right now.
If he's still alive, we need to find Wynn.
That's the goal, yes. That's
That's
why
what
I
we
came here.
To find Wynn.
Yes,
That's
I
why you
followed him.
stowed away on the ship.
No.
I'm very confused.
When Wynn ran into the gases,
He followed him here.
I
the-
got out to follow
inside.
him. As I was going, those things came and started to go up the ship. So I slammed the ship into lockdown mode and ran for it.
So Wynn ran into the gases?
Yes.
On purpose?
Yes.
Why?
I've got no idea.
We have had a
Apparently.
conversation about the calling happening.
Yes,
remember?
I'm with you there. I was just wondering if there was a particular reason that he knew of that wasn't that.
Not got the faintest.
How old is Wynn?
Wynn is like late 20s.
I mean, they said
We know he's currently wandering around without his helmet.
Well, I'm not exactly getting any strange urges to run into the mist, and I'm 31, so...
Of relevance.
37.
relevance. Go run into the mist.
No, of relevance. You two hear a voice saying, you're in the wrong place.
I immediately look over to...
She's trying to keep calm.
Only sanity.
And meanwhile with Card. Well,
17 of 79.
Okay, you're calm, but you definitely heard that.
your your weirdly
Yes.
non-committal reasons for being here aside, we do need to figure out if we can find Wynn or if he's dead or not. All we know right now is that his helmet's off and that he was in a room
Full
with a
disclosure
bunch
here.
of bunnies.
Normally something I don't really like to advertise, seeing as because I walk over to a corner to have this little conversation, but normally not something I like to advertise, seeing as I'm the ship's counselor, but I technically have a mild case of schizophrenia. One of those things that I saw earlier, outline of a person. You saw it too. And just now, the voice. We're in the wrong room.
We'll discuss this if and when we make it back to the ship. Now is not the time and place.
Alright, I'll respect that.
I'm assuming I can open private audio channels for like specific groups of people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to open a private audio channel for myself, Card, Yi, and Kyle.
The Untethered.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, okay, private vox for the people who know what's actually going on. Do we know what we're here for?
Have you found anything walking around this lab,
I
Card?
don't know. My grasp on Latin's pretty shaky.
Can we figure out some way to wake up Elishard? Galadir?
Wrong character.
I was awakened from a letter that Faust wrote at some point, but
I don't know. There's supposed to be some sort of pattern to awakenings, but I don't know how to trigger it. I mean, I suppose near-death experiences will do that, and if we keep wandering through this place, we'll get those.
Yes, but those will quickly turn to death experiences,
Yeah.
and we don't exactly want to die here.
Galadir awakens as he's dying. Well, that was useful!
I like to imagine, from your awakened point of view, you just walk into the puddle and suddenly you're impaled.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, crap.
Awaken just in time for some sort of eldritch horror to be consuming you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of a trip when you walk into the pool and you walk in and then your next thought is, I have a spear through my chest.
What the fuck was I doing?
Also relevant. Wait, have the communications with our diamonds been cut off?
That's a good question.
Because, Card, your diamond was cut off at some point.
Yeah, I haven't been able to access anything since we got out on the planet's surface.
I'll take a few steps
have you
away from
even been able to find? Have
These
you even been able to pull out
these
the diamond,
helmets
or has it not worked?
these helmets aren't opaque, are they?
Pardon?
Like I can see their mouths
Mine
moving and I'm
is.
not hearing anything.
Mine
Yeah.
is probably.
Yeah, his is opaque.
But I can see that Card and Gora's mouths are moving and I'm not hearing anything. Right?
Yes.
So I don't know what kind of private conversation that the two of you are having, but this isn't really the time.
No, it's pretty much the time. It's complicated.
Gora's gonna
In the meantime, so I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I was able to remember words in Latin to activate the control panel.
while he's talking to the rest of the group, I'm gonna take a few steps away, turn face away, and pull the diamond out and check if I can contact.
Bad news is the only word that I could remember off the top of my head was kitchen. And with that, the door begins to screech open.
I move over and shove him away from the control panel
So, I'm seeing if the
and
diamond
start
is
writing exit. Or actually, farm.
Bunnies.
Roll me your Latin to call that word to mind very quickly.
4.
Sweet. The door begins to open into a giant undulating tube full of meat.
Yeah.
That's,
No, I
opening
write
in and out as
farm because I know that Krator would consider the actual farm to be a farm. Because that's where he's growing humans.
and Right as it opens up, you get the smell of rancid meat, and the door recloses.
Something tells me I'm very glad for atmosphere controls.
Yep, you are. As the only person that could smell it.
Does the diamond function?
No,
Okay. Yeah, so
it's
back,
still dim.
put the diamond back on the private channel. Yeah, diamonds are locked out right now.
Ours were working for a while until we entered the cave, I believe.
Something like that.
I haven't checked in a bit, admittedly.
Alright, well, the door begins to...
Alright, I put in farm. Assuming that Krator views the humans on the surface the same way that I'm assuming he does, this should take us closer to them.
We grow humans.
Why do you think there's an entire colony of humans here that get randomly summoned out into the fog when they reach a certain age?
We can...
Yes.
Enough information, Gallagher.
I'm sorry, did I not share that revelation earlier?
What about the bunnies?
As the door opens, it opens into a clearing in the middle of trees. There's a large banquet table set, full of fresh vegetables, and a bunch of bunnies hopping around.
Don't touch the rabbits!
Several of the bunnies begin hop into the lab.
I don't want you! I don't want you!
I
What's
changed
wrong with
that
the
to
bunnies again?
exit.
What did we see with the bunnies?
They were like...
Kill the bunnies.
Yeah, like Sandra went up to pet them and they all were evil and tried to kill us.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was just
Turned-
straight up Monty Python bunnies.
They
No.
they turned into...
No, they bunny golem themselves.
Wait,
Oh, never
Like
mind
a
then.
bunny
I don't
golem
do that.
chased after us and
Win
tried
might
to
be
eat us.
in there. Kill the bunnies.
Kill the bunnies first.
Right now, the bunnies are just sort of hopping around.
Don't touch the bunnies. They're evil.
What triggered them?
They just
Us
She
trying to
just-
leave.
Yeah,
if
us
we-
trying
if
to
we ignore
leave.
them- if-
Us
Yeah,
trying
we're
to
trying
not
to-
be eaten triggered them.
trying not to be eaten by the.
By them.
By
Well,
them.
because like
Oh.
Sandra went out there and then like the bunny swarmed her and she was petting them, but then more bunnies kept swarming
Do
her
I see
and then tried to leave.
Wynn's helmet?
Pardon me. You see a helmet sitting neatly on the table.
Do we see Win?
Win!
Do we see a suit?
Any suit or anything, any kind of scrap?
No.
Win!
Do we see an exit?
You'd have to walk into the clearing to get that kind of a view.
Not the bunnies again.
I think we take win as a loss.
If he's alive, we're not gonna just abandon him
Yeah,
here.
we gotta try to find
We have to
something
know
do.
he's bunny food first.
Well,
The
how
problem
many-
with
how
that
many
is that
bunnies
knowing
are
that he's
there?
bunny food also puts us in the same situation that made him into bunny food.
Well, how many bunnies are there? I mean, what did you see? Like 20, 50?
Couple dozen.
Couple
Hold
dozen.
on.
Why don't we just peg them off? I mean, they gotta be easy to hit.
They'll conform into the larger bunny.
So.
First off,
just
Gora,
there's-
put your shield between us and them, please.
Sure. Yeah.
First off, there's something to be said about
I
taking
plant the elder
risks
sign shield in
with-
front of the bunnies.
The bunnies don't seem to care.
that's fine. as long
There's
as
something to
we-
be said about taking risks dealing with bizarre and dangerous creatures.
Wait, they
And-
don't care about the elder sign?
They don't.
To be the bearer of bad news,
To be fair, they haven't turned into a golem yet.
No, they cared about it.
I
They
believe
really cared about it when I was scratching that thing in.
Galadir, you are the only one of us able to breathe this atmosphere. It's because you went through that portal.
Yeah.
Well, this room is perfectly
Yeah,
oxygenated.
this room is oxygenated, though.
As you've gotten
So you
into the
would be
part
a-
proper, yeah.
Oh, so you would have been able to breathe
So
that
he's
helmet.
Yeah, so he would be.
Without-
We're in an area. Hang on. I'm gonna see if I can scoop a bunny up.
It sure is a bunny.
I'm gonna put it against the elder sign and see if it reacts.
You begin rubbing the bunny on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
It seems to be annoyed that you're rubbing it on the hood of a car.
These ones are regular.
regular.
As you stop rubbing it, it hops away
I
from you.
clearly ordered diet.
bunnies.
These are regular.
I think all bunnies are diet bunnies.
Which means Win might not have been eaten.
Yeah, it's possible that he could still be alive.
They're not bothered at all. When I carved this sign previously, because it's still active, even though the car is destroyed,
Still
the
holding
sign
a
still
rabbit, or
works.
have you put
No, I
it
put it
down?
down. I put it down.
Just
Even though the
car is
picturing.
even though the car got destroyed, the sign still powers, and so it should. If it was the same kind of rabbit, it wouldn't be able to touch the sign.
Sandra's gonna very carefully pick up a bunny.
So I'm gonna
pick up a bunny. It's
I'm
very
gonna-
calm.
I'm gonna make an executive decision here on behalf of the security team and say don't eat the food.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now I have to test something out. Thank you.
I can make
I
them
walk
up
into
in
the-
air.
Walk into the room. It's a large clearing.
Are there any other exits?
It's a forest.
It's actually a
I can
forest.
make
It's not
rabbit
like
hop in the air.
a room shaped like a forest, or like a room
It's-
with walls like forest.
As far as you can tell, it's a forest.
Is it the
It's
same
not
forest? Are
dangerous.
these the same kind of trees? Actually, Sandra,
Yes.
are these the same kind of trees that we saw previously around the farm?
Are they the same kind of trees?
So in the farm, they were fruit trees. These appear to be a very generic tree, like really
Pine.
botany.
That's why I asked the botanist.
It's
6
a Douglas fir.
of 90.
This is a tree. This is like the platonic ideal of a tree, but you cannot for the life of you identify it as actually being a real kind of tree from Earth. It's like a hybrid of several different trees all got together and made this platonic ideal.
It's a wannabe tree, but it is a tree. But it's not like a tree
It's
from
like
Earth.
a wolf. It could be.
What do you
any-
mean, like a wannabe tree?
Like
It
wants
it's
to
like
be
the
a tree
wolf of
from Earth.
dogs. It's the original.
But she
the
has a
original
rabbit in her
tree.
hands this whole time. It wants to be a tree from Earth. But it's not.
Buddy's
It has all the qualities that the human brain associates with tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a pine tree, but it's got deciduous leaves for some reason.
what's on the banquet table? You said.
A bunch of different kinds of vegetables. Corn, apples, green beans, peas.
I mean, can you have me one of your knives, Score?
Don't kill the
Combat
bunny.
knife or magic knife?
Combat knife.
Combat knife.
Dang it. I slice into one of the apples.
It's an apple inside. Looks like an apple.
Has all its seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Slice it again, just to make sure it stays an apple when I slice it.
Do
a
you
second
want me to
time.
do an analysis of it, or make the rabbit eat it?
It's still an apple.
Feed it.
Hold it to the rabbit.
Eat.
The rabbit doesn't seem to want to eat it.
Put
He
it
already
down.
ate. It was, the spoon was in there long enough. He probably already ate.
Grab a carrot. Other carrots.
Yeah, with carrots.
Slice a piece of carrot off.
Sure is a carrot.
Hold it up to the bunny.
Bunny seems to be annoyed at being rubbed on repeatedly.
And toss
Just
it.
eat it!
We're trying to see if the bunnies will eat anything. So
She's a great
like,
pet owner.
Welcome to Cthulhu Quest, the adventure game where we rub every item in our inventory into every other item in our inventory.
Only the bunnies.
I'm basically going to be cutting pieces. I'm going to take a sampling of each piece of food on the table and toss it out to the bunnies and see if they eat any of it.
The bunnies don't seem to eat any of the food. You notice that none of the food on the table has been indicated having been eaten by bunnies.
Yeah.
Is the soil here the same as the rest of the planet? Like,
The soil here is very, is like you reach in and grab a handful, is very nice, dark, black soil. It's very
Okay.
rich and soft. It doesn't have that stony metallic
loam.
quality. It also, to
Yeah.
clarify, doesn't smell like sulfur in here. It smells like...
I grab an apple and I eat a slice. It's the only thing left to do.
I could have
Said
analyzed
don't.
that first.
Yeah.
As you ignore the warnings, you take a bite. It's a very good apple.
It's just like, it's just an apple.
How about we not push that? We have all got rations.
I mean, no, I'm not
Well,
eating more than just a bite, but I'm. So Wynn got here somehow.
what if we
This
take
is
some of the
designated.
seeds?
This is what the lab designates as.
Have all of you entered this
I'm
area,
gonna
by the way?
go in. Yeah, I'll go in.
Yeah.
So everybody is in the clearing.
So I'm just
I don't
gonna
know if
put
he
the
is
bunny
or not.
down and let it go, not be rubbed on things.
Well, if we all go in there, the lab's gonna go away.
This is what the lab designates as a farm.
Yes. But how do we get back to the lab if the door closes?
I mean, I don't know.
Because we don't know how to get there from here.
We can try if we're gonna find Wynn, we're gonna find him here.
Did you take his helmet?
Yeah. As well as on the table.
Oh yeah, I'll grab his helmet and see if there's anything, there's left any pre-recorded messages or something.
So there's no messages, but it does have the video log.
Yeah, I'll hit it.
All right. So you watch first person as he's out doing some rock samples. You guys leave. A little bit later, he begins jogging off into the mist.
Does there seem to be a reason or any indications
You
to
don't
why?
see anything. There's nothing in audio or video.
Does he
And
say anything?
no,
Just takes off.
just
Okay.
takes off. And he moves perfectly straight the whole time, doesn't veer left or right, and goes directly to the heart. He, as he walks up, he goes inside.
Have we seen the heart before, or is this the entrance that we
The
found?
entrance
Yeah,
that you
because
Just
found.
the
when
entrance,
we came in.
Walks down to that wall, looks at the plants, and the wall sort of evaporates. He walks through it, keeps going down, enters the room, looks at the bunnies, and just walks on by them. They seem to ignore him completely. Roll me spot hidden.
7.
Let's-
You
Of
notice
50.
that shortly after he's walking by, the bunnies go from being loosely around him to running past him. So
Okay.
something behind him appears to have drawn the attention of the bunnies. He looks around for a second, but doesn't see anything, and then goes to where that you found those crushed buildings.
Mhm.
Pulls up what looks to be some sort of hidden compartment and hops down it into a lab. He walks over to a control panel, types in Latin, home, and the thing does its grinding, and he walks out into this clearing, takes his helmet off, and places it on the table.
Does it see where he walks after that?
After that, for a second, you see him walk straight forward into, like, if the door you came out of was south, he's heading straight north.
Okay. In the glimpse of him walking past the helmet, does he seem like he's still him? Or are there things sprouting off his face or something?
No, he seems perfectly human.
In his arm is tree branch, but no, he's normal.
Okay.
He's definitely being possessed by something, I just say out loud.
Where did he go?
So he just walked straight to the heart. No turns, just straight there. Went through, past the bunnies, past the wall that you broke open.
Yeah.
It just moved aside for him. The bunnies left him alone. Remember the crushed building that we found? There was apparently an entrance there. I was right to think about it. We just didn't find it.
It was a different building in the same area.
Oh, different building, same area?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Opened up a hatch, dropped down into a lab, typed in home. I typed in farm, but apparently farm and home are similar, or at least in the designation are.
Roll me your Latin.
Yeah.
Farmhouse.
Farmhouse. 43%. No.
How do you spell farmhouse?
came out to. It brought him here. He dropped his helmet off and he continued on north. So we could follow him. We should follow him. We will follow him. We'll need Yi to get out of the lab, though.
I'm going to assume that he has followed you out of the lab.
So yeah, I make sure we grab the container. Step out of the lab.
Do you want me to carry that container?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Alright.
I will carry the container of death grenades.
Yes.
Since everybody seems to have to use the restroom, we're going to take a brief break right here.
Cool.
One moment, because I also have to use the restroom.
You do
We're
that.
just going on break screen. likes Spaceballs, so we never watched it, but I've seen like every other Muppet.
So good.
All right, and with that
fool.
discussion about
These are not
Spaceballs-
them.
You captured the stunt
Doubles.
We
All
can
right.
come back now.
and we're back. You have all
That's a use of an SP point.
wandered into the woods. I'm sure everything will be fine.
We haven't wandered into the woods yet.
Can I spend the destiny
I
point to be
apologize.
stunt doubles?
You are now looking into the woods where you plan on wandering.
Did the door close behind us?
No.
Okay. I turn Wynn's helmet to face that door.
Okay.
Could somebody have this on a monitor just so that...
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Alright, let's see if we can find Wynn. It is the thing we're supposed to do.
I suppose.
All right.
Yes, we don't want him to
I
die.
know, right.
Well,
They're very blasé
You guys-
about moral responsibility.
yes.
No, I mean that's not.
I mean,
to
I've
let
made that
him
note.
die.
I've made that note before, but here it's particularly distressing.
It is incredibly likely that Wynn is already dead. However,
This were Taro. He's dead. Let's go.
yeah, it is incredibly likely that Wynn is already dead. However, it is our duty to determine whether or not that is. The reason why I'm incredibly hesitant about doing so is because it's entirely likely that whatever has killed him, if he's dead, will kill us too.
There are more of us, and it hasn't possessed any of us yet, so we have a greater chance.
Over the private box.
And I'm tapped.
Over the
at
private
the
box
moment.
to just the awakened. And I mean, doing some basic arithmetic, there are 7 awakened here and 1 normal guy. Do some math.
Card responds. That's the exact reason I came. Again to the private channel.
Let's go.
All right, as you go to follow Wynn Reddick.
See, it doesn't help the fact that you say it the way
Wow.
I think it.
Yeah. Let's go to follow the sacrifice.
As you go to follow Wynn Reddick.
As you go to follow the man who absolutely did not win.
And certainly maybe wearing the red shirt because that's what the scientists
So
wear.
you follow Sharkbait.
The two of you roll me sanity checks again.
Do a who, me?
Yes.
The two that have been rolling sanity checks.
Well, fine.
The people who keep seeing stuff.
Maybe someone else should have a turn to roll a sanity check.
I'm rolling
I
sanity
took my
checks.
turn early on.
Actually, doing really well tonight.
9.
Except for, oh wait, no, yes, the 9 was on the right
You
die.
both made it.
9.
Yep, 56 to 76. I mean, 67.
You're
Whatever.
again hearing that voice. I don't think that's a good idea.
But aren't
Listen
sharing
to the
it so
voice.
that anyone
I
else can...
again
Well,
look
bitch.
over.
She's going to speak to it this time. What would you suggest we do?
I think you need to leave, Sandra.
What about when?
I think you need to leave.
Why?
As that is being.
So I'm looking over at her and I see her mouthing
She's-
things.
I mean, I'm assuming you're saying them,
She's
right?
speaking.
I mean,
Who are
yes,
you-
but it's
who are
not
you
over a
talking
comm, is it?
Shut up! I'm in the middle of a conversation.
With who?
Shut up!
I would like to
This is a,
clarify.
this is a counselor's
hear.
responsibility, I believe.
Superseded.
Uh,
With who?
You roll me a sanity check, please.
Who?
You.
I'm not going to have members of my crew talking to nobody.
There's
Yes, you are.
8 out of 36. Yay.
You very definitively see a familiar figure move out of the corner of your eye, and the voice you were hearing goes silent. And you roll me spot hidden.
I don't believe I put any points into that for some stupid reason.
Also, we are on a planet that is a living creature. I think
Nope.
the things you might dismiss as just mental tricks could be actual real things.
This isn't. I mean, kind of, but not. Never mind.
What are you talking
It's a thing.
It's just a thing, okay? You don't need to worry about it.
I do need to worry.
No,
when
you
people
don't
start
need to worry
talking
about it,
nobody.
okay?
Again, I'm going to reiterate. We're on a planet that is a giant sentient creature that calls to people mentally so that it can eat them.
Okay, this isn't that. It's something else, okay? I've encountered it in the past when I'm not on this planet. So just shut up.
Hold on.
You got that?
That isn't comforting.
It's none of your concern right now.
I don't think much of this is comforting to anyone. Believe it or not, cold, hard logic, or whatever it is, isn't exactly the best
I'm a
thing
space
for
wizard
most
that does magic.
entirely too logically.
As opposed to the space wizards that don't do magic, I would assume that was kind of assumed with the space wizard bit.
I'm using that as an explicit deflection of the cold hard logic argument. Things talk to people in their minds. What it is might be important, especially what it's saying might be important. If something is whispering in your brains by everybody, if something's whispering in your brains, let us know, because what it's whispering might be relevant.
You know what? We're wasting a whole lot of time right now.
So are we leaving or what?
Okay, so the special voice told me that it's not a good idea to go that way.
I
Okay.
agree with it.
That's relevant.
Right? But I think that's where Win is. But the special voice didn't say anything about that. Just said that it wasn't a good idea and I shouldn't go in there.
Is this a special voice that has been right before?
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
Maybe we should
Roll
follow
me
it.
psychology!
Yes, I will roll.
Everybody can roll me psychology on that.
6.
I actually made it somehow.
No.
67
That's my
70.
first successful psychology roll. I need a pencil.
So do I.
Yeah, no, 75 of 10.
Well, you don't need to worry about it, because you're the one who is
Okay.
being deflective and evasive very poorly.
I
There's
somehow
a
made 6.
reason I didn't bring Tarell into this system. Sandra had the most sanity, and look at what's happening.
At this point, Torel would have just pulled out the mirror shard and been like, you know what? Forget this joint. Wham!
Tarell wouldn't have made it this far.
Alright. Yeah, she's way deflecting. Mega super ultra deflecting. It's got a
Pinch the
cape.
bridge of my nose. Okay, look. We're all in a very stressful situation. Mainly because we could die now. I look
Absolutely.
around just to make sure nothing's about to kill us.
Nothing in a second.
We're in a weird place where lots of things don't make sense, and logic only works kinda sorta. Magic is real.
Yes, it is.
We are on top of a giant creature that talks to people in their brains and summons them to die.
Yes, we are.
Some of us, some percentage of us, are hearing and or seeing things.
This is still correct.
We should be completely honest with ourselves, because what might seem like a delusion could be very real information that could save lives.
Except for the fact
I
that
don't want to get into it right now. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it right now. And the only person I want to talk to about it is him.
What
She
I'm
says, pointing at you.
saying, what I'm saying is,
when
in
I
the
said this was a
future-
counselor's job,
I am pulling rank on you.
I'm
In the
pulling my
future-
profession on you,
Your
sir.
your profession doesn't matter for shit when we're on a giant creature that talks in people's brains. Let me finish my sentiment.
Actually, that's why he's here, I believe. I get into this too.
So in the future, I don't give a shit what's happened in the past. In the future, if someone's brain starts telling them potentially relevant information, please share. That's all.
Now that we've had your input on the conversation,
Yes.
if I go ahead and switch over to a private channel, I also saw this same figure before we even came onto the planet, I think.
Okay.
It was something that troubled me the night before we left. It was an abandoned hallway that it bothered Duncan as well, and
Was it one of the areas that was closed off in the ship?
yes, and I came back to it because I couldn't sleep. I kicked up some dust when I was walking around and I saw a figure in it. I wrote it off as a hallucination.
A child.
Yes. A young boy.
Yes. Is everyone else just standing around?
I'm looking to make sure nothing's about to attack us.
We're on a private channel.
You're on a private channel, but people.
Everybody's looking.
Okay.
Yeah, we know you're on the private show.
Would it be a bad time to say that I can lip read? I'm
I
kidding.
just kind of, I'm moving on to that stuff.
I know exactly what you're talking. I want to get into it, but I don't feel like we have the time right now because something could, come up and kill us while we are trying to have this conversation.
Lip reading is such an underrated skill.
It is. It's also very difficult.
Yeah.
Is there...
Psychologist, roll me another spot hidden.
Does there seem like there's anything around us at all right now?
No.
76.
It's freakishly quiet. 76 out of way more than you would get for that.
Out of I didn't get put points into it.
Freakishly
25.
quiet as in the bunnies aren't here either?
You hear the hopping of bunnies, but that's the only
Okay.
sound.
Okay.
The heartbeat's gone too.
Wait a second. Did everybody hear that?
No, I don't. That's concerning.
Yeah, the heartbeat stopped.
Can you... Perhaps not even the story, but who this is.
I have to get into a whole thing, and I just feel like we don't have the time right now.
Well, right now there's nothing here.
Alright, Duncan. You feel a chill in the core of your chest. And another figment moves in the corner of your vision.
I can give you an abbreviated version.
There's something wrong here.
Okay.
Can you talk to the middle of this? Okay. So, I'm sure you've noticed
Can I get a cult roll?
my extra
Just to
visits
see if there's anything
to
that's standing
Dr.
out to me.
Letter.
Any sort of feelings of like,
Make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Nope.
Sense any presence. that's not-
46.
So,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I was like 12,
Just trying to feel
I
like
had
if there's
a
any
best friend.
like
and his name was
back of
Danny.
hair on the back of the neck or anything like that.
And we
Not
liked
for
to
you.
play in the restricted areas of the ship, and we'd play like hide and seek and stuff. And one day we were down there, and there was this strange creature. I don't know. My brain couldn't even process it.
Can't begin to describe it.
No. It drug him off. But when I came back, no one remembered him. Everyone thought he was just my imaginary friend. Every trace of him was gone. And the only person that remembered him was Dr. Letter.
Because he did the dragging.
Which is why I have gone to him extra times to talk about it. Because he's the only one that remembers him. And I learned that if I wanted to remain sane, I needed to convince people that I believed it was just an imaginary friend. But I know he was real.
So,
Have we gone back to the lab?
That is who you're hearing and seeing. Oh, I don't know. Can you hear him?
I can hear him.
Okay. But it's him. But he's also still a torture. He doesn't come out.
So, yeah, I'm gonna press on. Hopefully, others are following.
Alright, so Galadir begins walking on. What are the rest of you doing?
Should we listen to the ghost voice and not go this way because it's a bad idea?
Unless the ghost voice is a figment of this place.
Well, supposedly it's been encountered before this.
Yes,
so.
but
What I'm going to say is that it would probably be a good idea to listen to it, to try to stay away from wherever it's trying to hurt us away from.
Yeah, because it's trying to hurt us away from the place where the guy who got kidnapped or possessed by something on this planet is going to.
yes, it did.
So maybe don't go to the place where the guy who got brainwashed decided he wanted to walk to.
And I will say,
The argument in the reverse is if you were trying to brainwash things and bring them to a very specific place, and didn't want people who could potentially harm
I
you
will
to get
say,
there,
Galadir,
you would
before you
disguise
say
them as a
another
figment of
word.
their imagination that they already know. Sorry, I finished my thought. What were you going to say?
your train of thought has a lot of momentum behind it, doesn't it?
Yes.
I will say, without breaking confidentiality, that this voice, that this individual is indeed on our side and is watching out for us.
You sure?
And, yes,
How can you confirm it?
that's all I can say without breaking confidentiality, which
Gora, the door
I
just
take
closed.
very seriously.
What?
We just lost our way out.
Oh, crap.
Like just now.
There's not a door there anymore, it's just trees.
This is why I didn't want to have this conversation right now.
It's your fault.
Let's not get into blame games here.
Alright.
Alright.
So,
I'm not blaming anyone, I'm just saying.
let's do some initiative rolls.
Because now
Shall
we're going
we?
to die.
There's no initiative rolls just based on our decks.
Yes, let's initiative it up. What's the dex of the people, of the humans?
70.
40.
40.
55.
65.
45.
We both have the lowest. Yay!
We get to move after everyone else is dead.
Then we abandon all of them.
45.
Gora,
I mean, yes,
Kyle.
it's not really abandoning if they're dead.
That or you die before you even get to do anything.
So, did somebody order some near-death experiences?
Okay. The two of you will go at the same time. It really doesn't matter.
Because we'll all be dead by then anyway.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, we won't. That's
Fine.
no.
I have a magic
That's
knife.
not
it's
your
fine.
"you're going to be okay" voice.
It'll be totally fine.
That's your "I have something deadly and amusing planned for all of you. Dance, my monkeys." It's that kind of voice.
Alright, so, Gora,
What's around me?
you begin to feel a chill.
Where is it coming from?
Deep inside.
I cracked the hatch on the container.
Alright, it's like, I feel cold. Grenades are my true warmth.
Just
You're the only one that understands me.
take one out and hold it.
Kyle, you begin to feel a chill starting at your core.
Not much I can do.
You begin feeling a chill in your core.
Go there.
Very
wish-
fruity
I wish I had a container of grenades.
Yes.
Elevator.
You feel a chill to your core.
I'm analyzing the chill.
Roll me a cult.
It's just such a Rudy response, though.
28.
So, ghosts. Ghosts are real. Ghosts are things.
They are.
And so some people naively assume that just because you can't see or touch a ghost doesn't means that the ghost can't hurt you.
Yeah,
This is a lie.
that is a lie.
That is a super lie.
Okay. So,
Roll me Cthulhu Mythos to see if you know any more secrets about this kind of ghost.
yeah.
Did you make it?
1.
All right.
1 out of 5.
Let's have a talk. First of all, mark that because you succeeded.
Yes, I succeeded. Oh no, Cthulhu Mythos you don't mark because it doesn't improve if you
Oh,
succeed.
right.
It
That's
only
it.
improves
Okay.
It only improves through exposure.
Yeah, you're right. So, you read about this kind of ghost. So, there are vengeful spirits. And when people are horrifically murdered by extremely horrific beings,
Like
or gods,
not that I have any reason to think this, but like like a child being dragged off into an empty spaceship by a demon.
that
Okay, something like that. Yeah, okay, cool.
that could do it.
Cool.
They tend to cling themselves, and they tend to magnify aspects of their character, and sometimes, occasionally, if it wasn't a good person to begin with, they become vengeful,
Okay.
and if they die in service to some sort of elder being of doom and destruction, their very essence and core becomes slave to it.
Cool.
And becomes a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And they are only going to be visible to the people who they are relevant to.
Okay. All right.
And they are going to be most real to the person they are relevant to, and that's the person that is most in danger.
Cool. So, Supernatural 102, everybody listen and don't talk. Ghosts are real. Not only are they real, sometimes they get warped into very specific purposes by eldritch beings, such as the one we're standing on/in. They can kill anybody they want, but particularly they're very dangerous to the people that can see them because they can only be seen and sometimes only heard by the people they were closest to. Things that die in particularly horrific circumstances will occasionally come back to kill the people that witnessed their death, for instance. So, you can't always trust the voice in your head for a variety of reasons. And we are currently being haunted.
Both
All right.
of us can see it.
It's now the ghost's
haunting
turn.
has been triggered.
The people that can see it are the people that it will try to eat first. So keep your eyes open.
That was there.
Two of the worst combatants can see
Just
it.
so comforting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the.
This is why you don't hide things from the wizard.
This is the third 88 I have rolled in a row, and
Because if the
unfortunately,
wizard knew the circumstances of the talking voice, he'd be like, okay, fuck it, let's go.
unfortunately,
Let's leave
this
it out.
ghost does not have over an 88 to hit.
Or this is a different ghost.
So,
This
Duncan,
could be a totally different
There's-
host.
This could be a totally different ghost, you're right.
you see.
Because, it's not like there isn't a large number of people that have been horrifically murdered by
Like a
eldritch
planet.
beings in the
Yeah.
middle of the human farm located on an eldritch being.
Yeah.
Totally improbable.
What I'm saying is, ghosts are going to
Okay.
kill us.
What does Duncan see?
Duncan,
Okay.
What do your Duncan eyes see?
You used to have a boss. Something happened to your boss.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he's trying to shank you.
Is he? From where?
Yeah,
In front of me?
he just shifted through in front of you, and then pointed a gun at you, and fired.
That's not shanking, that's shooting, Austin.
It does
Actually, I believe he's
Shanking
firing
with a
him.
bullet.
does it. It depends. If he shanks you with the gun and then fires.
Shanking is specifically stabbing somebody with an impromptu knife.
The gun is an impromptu knife.
It's not a knife, though.
That's why it's impromptu.
He shoots his gun at you, and your knee-jerk reaction ducks out of the way, and it goes wide. You saw that. You saw that. The rest of you heard a faint crack coming from directly in front of Duncan.
Alright, I'm racking my brain for ways to kill ghosts.
All right, Duncan.
He gonna call.
You do know that as much as the ghosts are real to certain individuals, those people in turn can be real to the ghosts.
Okay.
So Duncan, Lou Reddick is standing in front of you, pointing a gun at you,
Uh-huh. And he tried to shoot.
and he just tried to shoot you.
And so he's still standing there.
Yeah.
Shoot him back.
it's a my first
Stab it.
maneuver would have been to try to grab.
Hey, sure.
Let's stab it.
Okay.
Roll me a brawl.
Roll
Grapple the ghost.
I grapple a ghost. Okay.
Yeah, this is how
61 out of 90.
All right.
Except this is how physics works. You can grapple a ghost.
Yeah.
You can.
If you're a monk.
Sure. I learned that in school.
You can grapple a ghost train.
All right. You reach out, and as you grab his form, it fades into mist,
You
and
can
he
grapple a ghost train.
shifts back
You can
about
suplex
5
a ghost
feet.
train.
Yee, what you gonna do?
So,
You can dodge a ghost train, you can dodge a ball.
How is Lou Reddick standing? Like, is he just casually standing, or
First,
like, the
Casually
owl
standing
stance?
while trying to shoot.
how old are you?
31.
Yeah, we're
Roll
the same age.
No, you're older than him because you're in your later 30s. You're like mid 30s.
Lady. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
20
late
years
at 30.
ago.
I'm 37.
Yeah.
So that'd be later.
Roll me intelligence.
Terrelicants.
50 of 65.
All right, you do vaguely remember the old chief of security, Lou Reddick. He was sort of a.
I thought you were pointing at me and laughing.
He was crude, obnoxious, but good at his job, as far as you knew.
Okay.
And he
There's a ghost
seems
train boss that you fight
very
and
determined
solid
right
character.
now.
It's basically.
But even
He
in
does the
his
same
determination,
motion.
he's got his
Basically
mannerisms
tosses
from
the creature
life.
up into the air and it
He's
will
very
down and take
calm.
damage.
He's holding up the gun
But he can do that to the
one-handed,
ghost train, too.
holding it
So
sort of
it's just
crooked,
This little man's history.
with just a
Grabs
very
the creature.
blasé look on his face.
What would have been his formal... What would have been his rank?
Because Soppin can suplex a train.
He was head of security, so he would have been a lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
So Lieutenant Reddick.
Mm-hmm.
And point of reference, he is also Wynn's father.
I mean, that's what I figured.
Lieutenant Reddick.
I'm going to...
And he was also
He's also, Faust is
The
also
last-
he's also a untethered.
the
so-
last
Okay,
murdered
so-
individual
Faust.
on the ship.
He's also untethered. So
The last murdered? What?
20 years ago,
20 years ago. he was-
there
Yeah,
was
Faust, we'll go back
a
to the-
pursuit of some sort of crime, and
But he's not there.
somehow there was
Yeah, I haven't heard
gunfire
Faust at all.
involved,
No,
and
he's not there.
Lou Reddick got shot dead.
So maybe Faust didn't awaken and is a ghost.
Faust awakened.
And he
That's how he
would-
left the letter.
Maybe
I'm going
Faust
to
is
go
still a
ahead and
ghost, though.
walk over to be about like
I mean, there would be a reason he would.
90
Consciousness left, but his
degrees
but his-
to where
this world.
Duncan is from him. I'm going to look at him. Does he seem to be at all even acknowledging that I'm there?
It's hard to tell with
Oh.
Lou.
'Cause he's-
Roll psychology. Lou was always very hard to... At half, by the way.
At half? Well, it's a good thing I rolled a 5.
Well, darn. I mean, I could try to roll for him to be deceptive, but no. He knows you're there, but he doesn't seem to care at the second.
I fixed. I fixed the when we get to it, I realized what I finally actually thoroughly read the combat rules, so
Okay.
they're slightly different from what we were discussing previously.
Yeah, I've got a reference sheet over here.
Yeah, it's dodge sets the difficulty for the attack coming at you if you succeed at the dodge.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So yes, you see his. He doesn't seem super concerned with you. You're not even sure he's aware that, like, he knows he can see you. He's not. You don't think that he's aware you can see him.
So when I'm like, again, so the 90 degree to him, Lieutenant Reddig, what are you doing?
The rest of you heard that.
Wait, when?
You know that Lieutenant Reddig
Reddig
would not be Wynn.
Yeah.
Wynn is an ensign.
Wynn's father.
Lieutenant
Just heard
Reddig.
Redding.
Was murdered 20 years ago. As far as you are aware,
A long history of red shirts.
in a gunfight that arose after somebody had tried to smuggle weapons.
Right. So a vengeful ghost.
But also, getting shot in a gunfight is not going to make you this sort of vengeful ghost to follow somebody down to an elder planet.
No, being shot by that person though.
How does he react to that?
He seems rather surprised.
I was
That's what
3
you
at
see
that
right
time.
now.
At what?
At the time this guy was shot. Thor was 23.
And Sandra,
How long was this?
20 years.
So I was 17.
Yes.
You just heard him, you feel a chill in your chest, and you just heard a ghostly crack, and then you saw Yi walk up and address Lieutenant Reddig. How old are you?
I know she was a couple years older than Gora, so...
So you were like 6 when this all
like,
happened.
yeah,
so you don't
probably
really,
like 6 or 7.
You don't really know anything about.
Okay.
I mean, Gora knows about Lieutenant Reddig just because security,
Yes.
but I don't know any of the details.
No, you don't.
Hello? Mr. Ghost Redding person?
You have no idea if he was responding or not. You can see that he doesn't seem to care about her address.
Yeah, because she wasn't making direct eye contact
No.
with him.
Danny? Are you here?
You don't hear anything.
Okay.
Gallagher.
Oh, wouldn't it go to other people first? Or I'm 55 on the dex.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got G down for Gora.
Gora.
Anything changed other than this conversation that's happened?
That you see, he moved to a very specific place and is staring into an empty void of space.
Well, yeah, you
Can
said
I
you
can I
moved-
extrapolate where they're looking based on the two of them facing?
Yes. Roll me. It'd be a great application for physics, but you're just gonna have to
Fairly
go for
easily, because I'm
Spot him.
exactly a 90-degree angle from him, so it's an easy right angle.
Yeah, but like you know generally where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's specifics for targeting though.
I mean, true.
I'm not trying to target anything. I'm just going to position myself in front of Duncan and plant the Elder Shield.
Seems fair. So you rush over and interject the Elder Shield. The two of you
I like
notice.
that we're calling the hood of this car an Elder Shield.
I mean, I interject the Jeep hood does not have quite the same gravity to it as I interject the Elder Shield.
No, fair.
You interject the shield, and the figure seems to like curl away from it. The gun pulls up, and he is physically discomforted by the shield.
So he kind of winces away from it.
Yeah. Kyle.
Yes.
Just stand there like, well, this is happening.
Pull out a notebook, start writing.
Yeah, just observing trying to figure out what's going on exactly.
All right.
This is, I do. Well, Galileo, will that actually work? I'm pointing at the shield. Yeah.
Galadir.
So, my turn to speechify again. Can I think of any other ideas as to how to deal with a ghost that if you can't see it, people that can't see it?
I mean, even if you can't see it, it's there.
Okay.
So any sort of magic or eldritch stuff will affect it, and the physical actions of those who can see it will have an effect on it, albeit diminished.
So basically, there's 3 people who could try to beat up the ghost if they wanted to.
If you can see a ghost, you can harm it. If it's real to you, you are real to it. It won't be as effective as harming a real person, but that'll do. And yes, that sign will ward them off. If you're not seeing a ghost yet, keep an eye open. The ghosts of the people that died on this planet aren't relevant to us unless we had a hand in them. A vengeful ghost is going to be coming after people that were relevant in its death. And I don't say that I am now suspicious of one of our security guards at this point.
Yeah.
But I am!
The subtext, relevant to its death.
Relevant to its
Why
death.
is the chief of security after Duncan?
But if you're real to it, it's real to you.
All
So
right.
shoot it.
So, this thing really does not like the hood of this car, so it's going to back away, and it's going to take a shot at our good physician.
Cool.
It's okay, you already have a puncture then.
You want to roll me some dodge?
So, the amount of success that you make on your dodge... with firearms you can only dodge. You can dive for cover, though. Basically, if you successfully dodge, you dive for cover. And that does a thing. Yeah, if you've got the quick thing.
Can I try to, like, anticipating the shot, get behind the shield as well?
That would be your cover.
Yeah, that would be that would be the dodge roll.
Got it.
Yeah. Did you fail?
Did you fail massively?
Literally anyone here would have failed that because that was a 99, not a 100, but 99.
What's your dodge skill?
It's a fumble. It's under 50.
If your dodge skill was 50, it wouldn't have been a fumble.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
I'm sorry.
My dex isn't even that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just put your phone
Because this
away.
also
I know I
this suit
can.
reduced my dodge. That was it.
Oh yeah.
Because I got a dodge of 10
I
right
know
now.
I should.
Oh yeah, major fumble right there.
And what are your wounds at again?
Sorry.
What's your health at? Like 3?
fumble.
Yes.
Well, he's dead.
I got some bad news. I'm rolling 3 dice because he's got a railer.
He's got a railer.
Yikes!
Combat in Call of Cthulhu is really lethal.
I was kind of hoping the diplomatic approach would work here.
All right, you're in luck because he rolled some garbage.
He rolled 3 1s?
No,
2 1s and a 2.
no, two twos and a 1.
Not what I
Your
wanted.
suit absorbs 3. However, is also punctured and no longer has pressurized containment.
But we're in a
But you're in a stable atmosphere, so that's
Stable
fine.
atmosphere
For now.
For now.
You take 2 damage, and unfortunately, you dodged into it in such a way as let's determine what gets the wound.
Also, you have a major wound now.
Well, you
I
already.
have a major
Oh, you
wound.
already had one? Oh,
Yeah.
Remember, I have a punctured lung.
Yeah.
I tried.
If it hits my lung again,
Yeah, it's not a torso shot. Are you left or right-handed?
Now's the time to decide.
This
Be
may or may not be
ambidextrous.
relevant.
I think I kind of sort of decided on right-handed.
Have I determined Gallagher's handedness yet?
No.
Well, you're left-handed now.
Cool.
Sounds like she's laughing at your pain.
Make me a Constitution roll.
Constitution rolls I'm at least better at than dodging.
Yes.
43 of 65.
Awesome. So it's not going to be a permanent wound, but you did just get shot in the right arm, and
Lower, upper, or
right
in
in
the
the
bicep?
bicep, and you feel ripping and tearing as you take your 2 wounds, and your arm falls limp.
So, I have good news about what happens when your hit points hit 0 when you have a major wound. You die.
Yeah. If you don't have a major wound, you
You
go
go
unconscious
and
and
get a
a
major
major wound, like getting your lung punctured.
Yes.
But what that means is you don't have to make anything like death saves or
I'm
anything
trying
like
to
that. You
tell
just
what-
straight up fucking die.
I'm trying to tell if I'm extremely lucky or extremely unlucky.
You're going to...
Because I've had 2 near-death experiences, right? If I hadn't awakened, I'd sure as heck
Oh
be
yeah,
awakened
absolutely
right
be
now.
awakened right now.
Yeah. Alright. So that happens. And Duncan.
Like a double awaken now
So,
or something.
And just for... So what everybody sees is as his arm gets struck, you see suit and blood just fly out of his arm with
Yep.
no discernible cause.
Yep. That's a ghost right there. That's a ghost. You done been struck by a ghost.
Why do we get really southern?
You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
It's the remix.
Okay.
The southern remix.
I'm trying to decide
So he was trying
for the
to
Deadwood.
get
I was trying to
towards
decide
the-
if I'm going to
behind
be
the shield and-
like regular cowboy southern
I'm
or
just
like
gonna
oil
go the other side of the shield.
prospector southern.
Just
Just
gonna clear
unload?
out and just gonna
Whiskey,
rail it.
Roll me an attack.
And see, that's the Klondike Core
29
remix
out
of
50.
a Smooth Criminal.
29 out of 50.
I want to
Yeah.
come in like full costume.
He did not dodge that.
Outfit and everything.
Yeah.
Roll me a d10
Well, that
and
takes
let me
back
know if you
my
get a
hit
10.
point. Well, no, she doesn't understand.
10.
Oh,
I'll see.
that was bad actually.
Oh.
Kentucky.
It wasn't that fun.
Because you used up half your ammo already as far as you knew. So as you press the trigger, you hear the crack and then the red light of the batteries being out on your railer.
So it didn't shoot.
It shot, and that was the last time
But-
it'll
but-
shoot before it gets recharged.
But it'll take everything. It'll take the whole
So roll
thing.
damage.
Damage is on the railer is. But,
It's a lot.
oh yeah.
I don't know if she's listening to us or watching something else, but
The rail,
The railer was D.
Gora, what was the
40?
railer? It was
Was it 40, 10?
46.
4D10.
40-10, yeah.
40-10.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
She finally
Okay.
got it. She finally got it.
So 3, 6, 10, 20, 23.
23 damage. Alright, you blast a... So the rest of you see this bullet strike air, and then there's a shockwave and shards of bullet go flying.
What do I say?
You guys both see him blast this ghostly figure in the shoulder, and his arm disappears, and then reforms mostly, but it's only sort of in
Whose arm
phase.
disappears? The
Gunnar.
ghost?
the ghost that we can't see.
His right arm, and
Okay.
he was left-handed.
Can't do anything right.
But his right arm is certainly out of phase right now. Yi, your turn.
Hide behind the shield.
That sounds like a plan.
Duck and cover is the thing to do.
Action, duck and cover.
When diplomacy fails.
And Sandra.
It's probably going to do something really stupid. So, where was the arm that we saw for a second?
You didn't see it.
You didn't see it.
We
You,
didn't see it.
Oh,
you
we didn't
saw
You
you
saw
saw
a
an
bullet
explosion
shatter.
of bullet
Yeah,
in
we
the
saw,
air.
we saw a
Okay.
bullet shatter.
So you-
Where did things
About
happen?
10 feet in front of
the shield.
the shield.
Okay, is it like she'll shout out to the two of them? Is it still there?
Yes, do it.
Okay,
Well,
can
it is.
she make like plants grow to try to trap it?
It'll cost some blood, but you can try.
Pruning shears, slice that hand open.
His pruning shears are shearing a lot more than pruning.
Yeah.
They're sharp. Slice the hand open. Pour the blood.
I like that she keeps her
Blood for the blood god!
sharp. Like
And skulls for the skull throat!
sitting in a chair somewhere on this farm with a whetstone going shing, shing. Gotta keep these shears sharp. Shing.
2 points of damage.
Ouch.
It's fine.
Blood for the blood
Fine.
god.
As
Eat
you
it.
fling your hand out and blood splatters on the ground. All right.
William's dead.
Are
So
you sure you're not Tarell?
no, this is a very logical and defense. She's like, I have one tool. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So there's good news and bad news. The good news is the plants grow.
Bad news is they don't go through the ghost.
Hey, would you like to roll me Cthulhu Mythos?
Me? Sure. Great.
This is the bad news, Galadier.
Oh, did my Cthulhu Mythos go up at all from interacting with ghosts and stuff?
Not yet.
Okay. Fail. 58.
58. Cool. You've got no idea why this is happening, but the rest of you see these vines begin to wrap up around Lou Reddig, and he smiles
Can I
and
get
I
him?
mean, we can't say it.
pulls out some sort of occult symbol, and as he shows it to the plants, they twist and turn and spin around and form themselves into into the shape of a green skeleton
Can you undo those?
that advances on.
People he hates, right?
Who are behind the shield?
He's got 2 targets. Now he's got 2. Now he's got 2 bodies.
There's the shield there, and this thing is not directly under Lou Reddick's control. It's under the control of the elder god whose symbol he had.
Bad plants. Bad plants, you listen to me.
Does
Kill
it
the
go
ghost.
right now, or does it have to wait for its initiative?
It's going to
I
start
mean, it just
advancing. You know what?
manifested, so.
Let's roll.
Go after the ghost. Stupid
It
plants.
begins advancing on Galadier.
Yay.
All right, and that makes it Gora. Your turn.
Has it actually started? Has it left the spot where it spawned yet?
Yes, it took like a step.
Okay. Well, it's still in vaguely the same general area, so my answer stays the same, which is, fuck this. Grab one of the vials out of the container and throw it in the ground on that spot.
Roll me some throwing at double.
33.
All right. Roll me luck.
27
Out of?
out of 85.
All right.
My luck's down to 50.
So the advantage of these devices is they're highly effective when they go right. And yeah, it goes right through this ghost. Absolutely no effect the 2 of you see. The plants, on the other hand,
Yeah, they may hit the ground with the plant beast was standing.
the
there.
plant thing is you see the green liquid go at it, and it just removes it, and then keeps going, and there's again just this massive crater in the ground, and this sort of, you ever seen in cartoons where the ground begins curling up and forming into like a tsunami of earth and grass?
Yeah.
It does that. It just carries on, and there's now a new ravine.
There's just a trench in between me and the ghost now.
Yeah. Kyle.
Hi.
All right.
So,
Kyle's like, I can't see the ghost. I
Kyle
have no
strikes
magic.
a new pose.
Do you want me to teach you some magic, Kyle? Is that the... Would you like to learn magic?
it's possible.
It is. It's very possible.
You want to learn some magic?
You just have to be able to look at the book for longer than she did.
All right. Galadier.
All right. Let's not try that again. I'm going to... I've given all the advice I can give. I can do one thing. I can distract it. I present the sign. I present the sign of power and I will put a point of my MP into it.
Roll me intimidate.
At the...
To strike an intimidating magician pose.
I'm not very... 57 out of 15. I'm not very intimidating.
But you're definitely there.
But the sign still has its power.
Yes, it has its power.
And is currently thrumming with it.
Yeah. All right, so you do that.
And it's my last point of MP, so...
You can always sacrifice health.
I can, of my 5.
So Lou's gonna look
with
over...
my major wound.
Yeah.
So Lou's gonna look between the sign, the shield. He's intrigued by the ring, but he's not gonna try to blow it up or anything. So there's a shield that he doesn't want to go to, and a sign that he does want to go to. So...
The sign also he doesn't want to go to.
He's intrigued though. He wants the sign to stop. Might be a more relevant way of putting it. And he's got a gun, so he doesn't actually have to go towards it. But he's gonna stay course.
What is staying course? Just staring at the shield that he can't go past?
I mean, he can still shoot past it, though.
Yeah, he can shoot past it. He can also walk around it.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I can't follow him. Yeah.
See him to turn
Yeah,
the shield.
there's that too.
And so he's going to wrap around it.
Can I just try to
No.
point at the
On your
ghost
turn.
as it moves? Like, as he moves?
It's hard to puppet the shield, especially because this ghost can move very fast.
Yeah.
Got
Especially
it.
because Gore is the only person who can really carry the shield.
Duncan, you want to dodge
How? Dodge what?
A
a
bullet.
bullet?
Did he shoot at me instead of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How
Um,
would he do that?
He's kind of got one purpose in life,
Because
and by one purpose in life I mean one purpose in death. Because
because
somebody shot him.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, he had 20 years to think about it.
Well, he deserved it.
I mean,
whether or not that's true, you still shot him.
What?
Go ahead.
roll me a
I
die.
did.
What'd you
What?
roll?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
96. Do you care?
Congratulations. Welcome to Railers. They hurt.
Hey,
But I'm behind the shield. Okay. But anyway.
well, no, it moved around the shield.
Moved around the
Well, I
shield.
was moving around.
Yeah, that would be your dodge. Try to move around the shield.
It failed.
Okay.
Cool. What's your life at?
Oh, 12. Right?
Oh, you haven't taken any damage, right?
Yeah, I
Because you
haven't
did the
done
awesome
very well.
action
Yeah.
roll. So
Yeah.
you can take 8 points of damage.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's fine.
That'll be fine.
That's a major wound.
Yeah, I mean
That's more than half.
yeah, that's definitely more than half. It's fine. Fine. Ooh. Okay.
It's just gonna kill Duncan and leave.
But do I have
It's gonna kill Duncan and you
I don't have
leave.
any armor type stuff in the...
No. You opted not to wear the full suit.
Yeah.
So this thing blasts you right in the head.
I have my spare ballistic vest on under the suit.
Thankfully, it's a glance off of your skull, but the impact knocks you dizzy. And roll me Constitution.
Ah, you got the Mafia 3 treatment there. Mafia 3, the main character
Nine.
gets shot with
Nine
a
out-
glance on
And
the skull.
probably survive.
Okay, so you fall to the ground,
Skull, I guess.
but you
No,
are
he didn't.
very dizzy. You are bleeding
He just has a
heavily
scar
from the
from,
wound.
like,
You suspect your skull has been mildly. You suspect you've got a minor fracture in your skull and a concussion, but you can see straight right now.
Okay.
Probably all the adrenaline working because you just got shot.
Yeah. And Duncan, it's your turn.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot this ghost in the face.
He can't, his gun's out of ammo.
You have my gun.
No, you have your gun.
It's strapped to your back.
Yeah.
Pick up Gora, buy her gun, and fire it.
That's a bad idea,
On many levels.
but I want to see you try it.
Wheel of Time world, here we come.
Well, I can
Seriously.
figure out that he can't
Well, except
see-
if we die on this planet, we possibly die as Untethered as well. We'll see.
That's true. We don't actually know what happens if an elder god eats us.
You know that if an Ethivore kills you, you die.
Yeah,
Wheel of Time as totally different characters.
as completely different
That's
characters.
a lot,
Yeah, he
Well,
didn't
folks-
die to an elder god.
Okay.
That's the end of That's the end of the Untethered campaign.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Pyro wins. Whatever.
Pyro wins.
I'm gonna go get the shield from Cora and just.
Cora?
Or
He's trying to grab the shield out of your
I'm
hand.
trying to grab the
I mean,
shield.
he can see
I
where the thing
I can
is.
see this thing. Give me that.
So
Okay.
What you gonna do with the hood of a car?
I'm just gonna shield slam. I'm just gonna charge him. Charge the
All right.
thing.
Hey, that's Yee's thing.
Roll me a brawl.
Brawl. Okay, that's simple. 91, 90.
What?
He said he's gonna shield slam the ghost. I said that's Yee's thing.
All right.
2 shields is Yee's
Two
thing.
shields.
So as it turns out,
Whose fault is he get shot?
the fact that it's a ghost is kind
His!
of irrelevant when there's
I mean,
a
yeah.
magician's sign on it.
Yeah.
Give me. Well, this time you get to add your damage bonus to it, which I believe is 1,
Yeah.
or is it D4?
One
It's a
D4.
D4.
94.
So roll me a D8 and a D4.
Oh, okay, gotta find myself.
The awkward bit of Call of Cthulhu when you realize
For
you
once,
confuse things that aren't
For once,
D10.
it's not Faust or Gallagher's fault
That's
that
I'm
you
doing
got
a
injured.
A D4, a D8, a D4.
Yeah, D8 and D4.
Or Tarel's.
10.
It's not this side of
Or
the
else
table's
not
fault.
even there.
Exactly. It's not this side of the table's fault that you got injured.
So it's now been every player's fault.
Except Rudy.
So you
The look.
rush into it, you lift the hood of the car above your head, and you jab it through, and the part of the car hood that's not got the sign on it goes right through him.
Yeah.
And then as the sign hits it, it begins begins burning into this thing, and the rest of you see this sign glowing like flaming red. And those of you who can see ghosts see this sort of bluish viscera flying out of this thing as the hood of this car goes through it, and as it reaches the core, the ghost explodes, and all of you see an explosion of gore as the annihilated corpse of the former chief of security manifests and then explodes,
Ectoplasm.
and then slowly begins to fade away.
I'm still holding the sign up. Is he still there?
I look around.
I
make
asked
sure
if
he
I could see him previously.
I just
I look over.
I
Easy
look around,
gone.
make sure he hasn't
No.
just dissipated. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's looks like he's not here anymore.
Has that chill gone away?
The chill is slowly beginning to fade.
So the doctor needs medical attention.
All right, let's see if we.
I can try.
Let's head back to the table.
I start.
Let's get him back to them so we can lay him down.
At this point, Duncan, your vision is beginning to fade and, like, straight. You have 2 fingers.
Okay.
You're,
Kind of woozy headed.
yeah.
All right, let's lay him down on the hood, and 2 of us can drag him while Gora drags the doctor.
He can walk just fine.
I can walk. I just,
Okay.
It's just he can't pass a field sobriety test.
All right, let's
Sandra has first
we
aid.
we guide both of
Check
them.
him for
I think my
brain
first aid
damage.
package
I can
is-
deal with this.
We guide both of them back
That's
to the
heavy.
clearing,
I'm 60.
so we can put them on the table where they can lay down, and we can perform a field medic check,
All right.
rather than trying to do it in the middle of the woods where ghosts are while they're standing up.
You walk back, and as you reach, you see, sitting at the head of the table, with his suit removed
Dr. Letter.
and covered
Oh.
in
Darn.
a fine coat of moth. Wynn Reddig,
Yep,
sitting
he's dead. Let's go.
and looking at you.
Well, he's not dead, but he's part of the thing.
Ah. Well, I see you were so bold as to follow me.
What are you doing, Wynn?
fulfilling my father's dream, and his father before him, and his father before him.
And what exactly was this dream, nightmare, whatever it is?
To finish the work of Yaila.
When I question two things. One, when I used the sorcerer's sign to empower the telekinetic blast, did it seem like that made it do damage, or was most of that damage just because it was enough force and they were sort of only loosely connected together?
You think it made it do damage?
Cool. I'm going to. Cool story. Sorcerer's sign. I'm going to hit him with that spell, spending 3 of my 5 hit points to
Get
do
an
so.
explanation from him first.
He's evil and dying is the explanation.
And that's where we'll pick up next time.
I mean, you preempted me throwing another one of the vials at him.
It's like, oh, villainous revealed. No. Alright, and
Brutal
with
monologues.
that, we will see
Die.
you...
That is the untethered punchline. Screw your monologue.
Especially when it's like a mid-boss.
Yeah, especially a mid-boss.
No, you're the subplot.
We don't want you.
Alright, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.